And she lets you know it. Anyway, all right, let's get back to business here. So we are all about, at least for the beginning of our show, we got some great entertainment coming after this because we have the TV that I bought Danny, the Roku TCL TV, which we love. It's my host pick. Bill loves it. Anyway, that's coming up in a bit. Before we get to that, we're going to stay more on the serious note and talk about these shredders because I'm telling you, if you don't have a shredder by now, after how many times you've been watching us here, you need to pick one up today. Birthday price at $20 off, free shipping and handling. Look, not just a 4 flex, how about a 5 flex on it? Why do you want a shredder? Well, because believe it or not, people go out to your garbage can and they pull things out of your garbage. And you may think they don't, but there are dumpster divers all over the place. You know, ask anybody. I mean, Danny, we put anything on the curb, it's gone in like a minute, right? I'll put something on and be like, it's total junk. It could be a broken in half umbrella and somebody will grab that because people like to recycle. Problem is, there are also people that just want to steal stuff from you. So shredding is the best way to do it. That's why the federal government it recommends that you do it because they don't want you to, in fact, read this. FTC, here it is. So many steps you can take to minimize the risk of being an identity theft victim. For example, you can closely guard your social security number, shred charge receipts, credit card applications, other sensitive documents. That comes from the FTC, guys, so grab it. Now, why do you want to get an embassy? Well, because over 270,000 shredders have been sold here. Why? Because they work. They get rid of the evidence, whatever it is, good or bad. You don't want that stuff out there. My good friend Bill Duggan is here, and he's going to show you an incredible embassy because we have embassies that go all the way up to $150, $160. Yep, this is perfect for everybody. It has the same industrial technology built in. It's perfect for home use because it's not a big, giant, jumbo one. They even put it on wheels so you can wheel it around if you want to bring it in your office. And I love the little see-through window so you know when it's full. $99.95. Bill, tell everybody why they need a shredder.
Well, that's just it. This is the one and only that is under $100. We do love Embassy. All of them are customer picks, even the more expensive ones, but it's the results that we get out of it. What's the result at the end of the day? It's not a collection place where, you know, it becomes a collect-all in terms of I'll get around to shredding later. You can just load this up and it starts to do what it's supposed to do. But then what Embassy has done is they've given us more options. They've given us this large peekaboo window so we see when it gets full. They give us the casters like we were talking about. And when this gets full, we don't take the lid off anymore. We have a pull-out bin, a 3.5-gallon pull-out bin, and we take that to the trash. But what we're throwing away is unidentifiable, because this is really what excites us. When we think of shredding, we think of something like this, right? A strip shredder. Not with this. You get microcut. And why is that important? It's an evolution. Identity thieves have figured this out. They know how to piece this together because it's a 30-piece puzzle. This, you cannot piece back together. Right. And that's where it makes it harder for them, which makes you less likely to be an identity theft victim. Because when we started selling Embassy here, the federal statistic was 1 in 10 of us were victims of identity theft. That's still pretty prevalent, right? Currently, 2017, it's 1 in 7. It's on the rise, because when you think about it, the stuff that comes in the mail, the stuff that comes off the printer, all of the stuff that you have in storage and in files, whether it's prescription information, travel documents, those pre-filled out credit applications, has your information on it. And when you put it through a microcut shredder, it's really hard for them to piece it back together. Realize, this goes through 10 pages, it goes through credit cards, goes through staples, does what it's supposed to do. And what Embassy's done with HSN is they've given us the best value. We're adding software, but also you have some color choices too. Why is that great? Maybe you leave it out, because the more you leave it out, because the junk mail comes in, oh, it looks good. It's nice and shiny and silver or gold. I'm gonna shred the mail, because that's really, the more you use it, the more protected you are.
I find it is the best way for you to get organized at your house. You know, a lot of people, they take everything in from the mail and it piles up on a table and you're like, oh, I can't stand it. Most of it is junk. Yeah. Most of it is, you know, credit card applications. We're gonna save you on this. I got one the other day where I got, the stuff I got was ridiculous. I got all kinds of flyers and crazy stuff, and I got things to replace my windows. I got like 2 credit card offers. I don't even open that stuff up anymore. It goes right in the shredder. And that way I don't have that kind of like, oh, I have so much to do. No, it goes right in the shredder and I take care of it. Now, Bill was talking about this safety software that it also comes with, and this is a really great deal. This is gonna enable you to do a lot of other things outside of just protect yourself via the shredder. We have the hard disk shield. We also have the ransomware defender. The smart privacy cleaner is in there. Hacker Up is inside here. These are great software titles that are gonna help you also protect yourself.
That Hacker Up, by the way, it's a way way to protect your identity on social media.
Which
I mean,
is...
how timely is that? Our
Oh my
identity
gosh.
is everywhere. It's virtually out there. It's on the printed page. And the thing is, we're talking about identity protection, which is important. But also, we're talking about clutter. Getting rid of the mess that's on the kitchen island, in the filing cabinets. You notice, I just stapled all these pages together. But at the end of the day, this has the power to go through the staples and all those pages.
Look at how he doesn't even put them in there straight.
I don't have time for that.
You don't
None of
have
us
to. I'm going to
time for
show
that.
you the inside of this machine, and you'll see why. You know, you've seen those things that crush cars. This is akin to that. Trust me. There's a reason that this thing weighs, 30 pounds. It's because the gears in the top are very heavy to get through all that stuff. But that's why we put it on wheels. So you're never going to have to lift it other than out of the box.
And we're shipping it to you for free at the birthday price. Really,
crazy.
Every home needs to have a printer, right, to print off the computer, but then we all need to have a shredder. And a lot of us do have shredders, but we have this dated shred from the 70s. And that's really what's, I mean, would you trust your identity and your credit score to something from the 70s? I mean, right there's someone's address, and that's not safe. New York, New York. I mean, just keep going, and the identity thieves walk away with information. So a lot of us have upgraded from a strip shredder, which is great. But if you're gonna go spend $100, you're gonna get something called a crosscut, which is definitely better than a strip shredder. But if you're gonna spend that same $100, you might as well get this. Get Microcut. It's a smaller, finer shred, harder for them to piece together, making you less apt to become that identity theft victim. Because remember, it's 1 in 7. And a lot of us out there think, you know what, if it's gonna happen to me.
And if somebody wants to put that together, God bless them. Go ahead.
Well,
Good for
that's
you.
just
If you want to I'll tell you what, in 17 years, when you figure out what my credit card is, it'll probably be a different one by then.
Well, that's just, we've moved on.
Right?
But most of us don't even know we've been an identity theft victim until we try to run our credit.
Well,
and that's too late.
Look at Marlo here. And we, poor Marlo is always, we bring it up because, and Marlo doesn't care because she's like, no, let everybody out there know. Once you get your identity stolen, it's this snowball, and it starts to go and go and go. And even though you may not be liable and you may not be responsible for the stuff, it takes forever to prove that.
Exactly.
And so what happens is you get blocked. You get shut out of other credit cards because they're like, sorry, but even though you didn't do wrong, we have to freeze your account. It makes your life miserable. Why wait to get to that point when you can do this? And as Bill said, these non-discernible pieces, they become great packing material. It's a great way to be able to recycle because everything condenses down when it's in that shredded format. And literally, the stuff you don't need, old credit cards, so stop cutting them with a pair of scissors, stick them inside an embassy shredder. It can take it, and by the way, we'll show you what a credit card becomes. And most people, especially, when I think about it, too, I think about seniors, trying to cut a credit card's not an easy thing.
Oh, no.
Look at what this machine will do to a credit card.
And the thing is, if an identity thief sees this, they're like, what is that? American Express, Visa, a gym card, a rewards card for a grocery store? Is it guys or is it bills? You want to make it harder for them. Look what Microcut can do. I'm lucky if I can cut it in half, maybe 4 pieces. But Microcut, you get a smaller cut because it can go through that dense plastic. It can go through 10 pages at a time. But more importantly, you're doing it smart. You have the latest in shredding that's out there. Look how many pages we have pulverized. And that's a good thing. We're not relying on 70s technology. We've got the latest out there. That one piece, this is going to nag us. We all cut corners. We get lazy. But if you leave it out and use it, you're not going to be cutting corners. But the thing is, what just happened? Someone picked up my paycheck stub. Or, maybe my garbage can got knocked over and now my paycheck stub's in the neighbor's yard. Or prescription information or boarding passes. Shred everything. It feels good to get rid of the clutter. It feels good to know you're protecting your identity out there. Like you're mentioning Marlo. I was a sophomore in college. I just moved into my apartment. I was getting all excited. Went to the financial aid office, and then I was like, I'm here to sign and pick up my financial aid stuff. I'm like, you don't qualify this year. I'm like, excuse me? Someone had my identity. And that's just it. Happens to 1 million more women a year. Happens to seniors and to kids. And the only time we know about it is when we try to get that financing for the car, the apartment, the big screen TV, and we don't get 3% interest. We have to go to 6 and 8. I mean, that's money out of our pocket.
Bill, you know what? Here's the thing: is that this is a very doable thing for you, and one of the best ways. And not just us, but the federal government talks about it. And they're like, listen, a lot of the identity theft that happens out there is because you're basically leaving it out there.
We're being lazy.
You're leaving it out there, and you're not protecting yourself. I put it this way: would you take your tax return from 2 years ago and just put it on the curb, right on the ground on the curb? Yeah, he's gonna get rid of that. No, of course you would. Yeah, here, I'll leave it out there. Whatever. You wouldn't do that because there's a lot of your vital information in addition to your Social Security. But yet, you will put credit card applications, things with your name, with your number, with your street address. You just throw that in the empty mail into the garbage can, and you wonder how how people can find your phone number.
Right.
And call you
How it
and
gets out there.
telemarketers and all that stuff. I'm not saying that that is exactly how it happens, and I'm not saying that there are a lot of bad people out there. I'm just saying there are bad people out there.
Well, that's
and
just...
don't get fooled and don't get sucked in. And this is something you can do something about. And it's a very simple measure. Now, I told everybody I was going to show them the inside. So let me show you this unit itself here. Now this one weighs about, I think it's about 15 pounds.
Just under 20, yeah.
Just under 20 pounds. So, and all the weight literally is in the top. And I want you to look at the teeth, and I have to kind of turn it a little bit inside here. And there's a great shot. Thanks, guys. This is why this works. Now, this is industrial. It has that look like, you know, the things that shred up cars. And that's why this is so heavy. And that's why it can get through staples and clips and things like that, because it's meant to do that. If by any chance anything gets jammed inside there, there is a reverse button which allows you to back it back out, because you may, you know, there might be 7 or 8 staples twisted together, and then the machine has a safety. It backs right out. So it even protects itself that way. It's ideal. And on the front of it, it tells you everything and how to you know, what to put in, what to not put in. Credit cards go in the center. It's a very simple machine. It rolls left to right, because like I said, you know, it does weigh 15, 20 pounds. So, you know, for seniors, they don't want to have to move it. But a lot of people will bring it into their office. They'll bring it out to the kitchen when they're trying to get rid of all the junk mail. If you've got even old newspapers and things like that, you can fold them up, because remember, you can put up to 10 sheets at a time inside of here. And then you got this great see-through bin, which allows you to know, because the first one I bought, it didn't have the window.
Oh, so you always had a peek.
So it would bulk up, and then when you take it apart, the stuff would fly everywhere because it was overfilled. This is nice, so it lets you know how to do that. And as Bill has shown you before, it makes great packing material. Hey, Bill, did we gone through colors?
I don't think we have.
No. Will you do that while you're up
You
front?
got that great red in front of you.
Got red right here.
And jewel tones, that purple, the blue. I mean, if you want to leave it out, just so your son uses it, get him a blue one.
The purple one, love it.
Champagne, I mean, where else do you find a champagne? Even that silver to match the stainless steel in the kitchen. Another quick thing, you're going through the features. That pull-out bin is great. We're giving you a bin liner, which you can use your own liner.
Yeah.
We're also giving you a lubricant sheet. But notice how Embassy, again, has thought of it all. There's even hooks in the bin, so your bag doesn't go falling in. You can actually hook your bag on there. That's Embassy thinking of all the features and making this the most user-friendly aspect out there. But what you're walking away with at the end of the day is the best shred out there. Yes, the shredder, and also let's remind you, you're getting the 4 full software titles.
And there's the sheets. They come in this little package, and this is great too. And you send these through because, you know, there's gears in there, and it's just like you're oiling a chain.
Exactly.
They go through and they make everything go nice and smoothly.
And that's what we want. And we want to be able to protect ourselves virtually, but also on the printed page. If we're relying on something from the 70s, I mean, you're at risk of being that identity theft victim, because it is a 30-piece puzzle. Someone's full-time job to piece it together, they can do it. It's easy. That's what they do every day. We go to work, this is their job. Then Crosscut. It's definitely a better option, but if you're spending $100, you could get this. This is Microcut, because Crosscut, they have figured that out as well. They'll piece that back together. When you go Microcut, it's smaller than the tip of a dime. So really, they're gonna move on to the next place. It's not gonna happen to you. You're not gonna be as likely to be that identity theft person. And it does happen. Then yes, we were talking about, you know, just cleaning out the closet, cleaning out the, you know, that shelf in the home office, or maybe it's out in the garage. Old documents, we don't need to hold on to them. But guess what? We cannot just put my social security number out at the curb. We can't just put, you know, those bank accounts out at the curb. We want a shredder that can go through 10 pages. I didn't even count out the number of pages, but I knew it could accommodate it. So whether it's the old tax documents that we want to finally dispose of but can't throw away, whether it's, you know, the credit card offers that come in the mail, you get real estate back, you get the clutter. We call it shredding therapy, because it just feels good to get that mess
really does.
off the kitchen counter.
You know,
and
it gives you a sense that it's gone forever, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. If you know, I've gotten to the point now where I'm getting ready to use my shredder on some old taxes,
right?
You know, because they say don't keep them more than what, 7 years, and then you can get rid of them. And I had stuff in there from like 8, 9, 10 years ago. I'm like, all right, so I can start getting rid of that. How else would you do it? Because you got like 30, 40 sheets of paper there. You're certainly not going to cut it with scissors. This is the only way to do it, and you can actually get rid of an entire tax form in about a minute.
Boom, just do it. And the thing is, there are more other options. You could hire a third party. That's money out of the bank. You could, people talking about even burning them. Or you know what a lot of us have done? Like, okay, bathroom garbage can, kitchen garbage can. And then where do they all end up? In the one garbage can out at the curb. You're not making it easier for them. You want to make it impossible. And that's really where Microcut has evolved to. I just gotta remind you, Embassy's our #1 shredder here. All of them are customer picks,
Oh my
but
gosh.
normally it's well over $100. So the fact that it's under $100, free shipping, and you get that latest shred in terms of Microcut and the software, it's a win-win to pick up.
585 five-star reviews. It's mostly, it's always like a 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. It's ridiculous. Why? Because how could you not love it? It does everything we say it's going to do. It's the #1 seller here. How many did we say we've sold?
Over pretty much at this point, 300,000.
300,000 shredders, and 300,000 people have picked them up here at HSN. And even though not all of them went online and gave a review, 500, over almost 600 people loved it so much that they went online. And that's a process. And they said, we absolutely love it. And I want you to read the reviews. If you don't have a shredder and somebody steals your identity, don't come blaming me. Don't come blaming Shannon either. Because I know Shannon has a shredder.
Sure.
Shannon's got many shredders because she knows, you don't want people stealing from you.
No.
Nobody wants
why
that.
would you?
Hey, by the way, if you want to get that shredder for about half price, we'll take another $40 off. It'll make it $59.95, so take advantage of that. Billy, don't you go anywhere. Because mine and Shannon's, one of our host picks, the Roku TV's coming up next.